Hi, and welcome to the Truck and Scribe. It's Esther. Today I'm going to take a pair of blue jeans and I'm going to cut them apart and I'm going to wind it with something like this, like a pair of shorts. We're going to take this and make a crossbody bag with it. So you just got to imagine that it's going to be cut right about here. If you can see those white lines, we're going to have a pocket. Right here is going to be the top where the zipper's at. And then on the back, let me see. This is going to be the back side, and we've already got a little bit of a pattern on it. So I hope you hang around and see what we got going on with this cute little crossbody bag. Hi, and welcome to the Trucking Scribe. Today we're going to we're not going to really make, we're going to start with these. So I got these on Amazon. I don't remember how much. I'll put a link in the description below. And if you use that link, I may get a small commission, but it's no cost to you, and it helps me out when you guys do that. But what I'm wanting to do, last week I made my mom's birthday present the bag. I am working on, let's see. So I've been working on this for me. It's come along pretty good. But I was thinking, I saw Marion's World the other day, and Marion was working on a blue jean jacket. So I thought, why not a blue jean pants? So what I'm thinking is I'm going to keep this pocket and I'm going to cut it down. First let me do this. So that's one design. I like them all. And you can use a ruler and a pen, but I just decided I wanted to do this. At least I think. I may change my mind when I get done. There's crosses and there's round shapes. So I like those shells. And there's this one. So what I'm going to do, these are just old pair of pants that I like the color of. So I'm going to use them. Now look, if you haven't been here, then you don't know about the paper and the fabric scissors. So this one is like 5-6 years old, and it's just, I use it for paper. The other day, last week, I opened this one when I was working on my mom's. This is a brand new one, and I put fabric, because if you use your fabric scissors to cut paper, it will dull your scissors. Now you can cut paper and fabric with the paper scissors, although these aren't very good at fabric. I had to go get mine. So I've got these blue jeans that I want. I really like this pocket. What I'm thinking of doing is going right down here. See if I can get it to cut. Yeah, these are my fabric. Here we go. So I'm trying to keep as much of the fabric right now as I can, because I'm not sure of what size I want it to be. Oh no, I'm just cutting all different directions. So what I'm planning on doing is having this leg fold up. Let's see. So I'm cutting right there on those seams. If you look over here, this is that side seam. I need to get over just a little bit. I'm trying right now to save what I can, because I don't know how I'm going to make this as far as how big. Now I've got y'all just spinning around in circles. But this is what you need to do with blue jeans anyway. So I do want to keep the bottom, this part, together, because I think we could do something with this, and you just put your hand in to do the sewing and not even have to cut it. Then you'll have either a top or a bottom already made. But this one, I'm wanting to do with the pocket a crossbody bag. I'm thinking that might not work, but we're going to see if what I can do. So I'm just checking to see how much, because I'm not going to want it really big. I just barely, I want this pocket area, so, and maybe up through here. Yeah, so I'm going to cut across right here. And there's a lot of fabric here. I really liked Marion's jacket. I thought, no, I need to make one. So you still got all this fabric here that we can use for something. Got this whole side right there. You could make another bag, or there's all kinds of things we can do with this. So I was going to, no, I don't know. I was thinking about going ahead and rotary cutting, but I don't think I need to. I might need to do a stay stitch right here because that's going to come off. So give me a second and let me get my sewing machine and run. I'm just going to do like a very small stay stitch on that side. So now this is at least, let me see. If you look right here, this is where I stitched it all the way down, and you can see that this is starting to unravel. It may be fine on the bias, and I may want it to unravel like this in the end and just sew it with the raw edges out like this. I don't know yet, but until I get there, I went ahead and did this, which can either be cut right there or it can be put inside as a seam. So across the top of the bag, I want to say is right now about 8.5, the smallest part. So if I went down here to 8.5, we would be right in there. That's about the size I want my bag to be, and I want a zipper on it. What I'm thinking is I may be able to put the zipper like right here, and this be the top. So the zipper right here to the, let's say this is the zipper piece of fabric. So we would just sew it like this, right along this edge. And then you got this extra that would flip over. So when you turn that under, you would have a nice seam and a nice border. Now I noticed when I was using my sewing machine, this is the brother sewing machine that I use for paper a lot, that it was getting stuck up in here. You see, I'm trying to figure out where this came from. It came from my sewing machine. I guess that's where it got stuck, and I thought it was stuck under the foot, not feeding, but maybe it was this. Okay. So, I do need this. I'm not sure how this would work. It would work good if we were doing, come down and hit this in for a minute. So if I were just using my ruler and measuring, which we may wind up doing, I just don't have a pattern. I could go get one. See? I don't know why this doesn't have 1/4 inch seams. So then you could just keep going. I don't think I need the 2-inch seams. So that is with the ruler. I can't do that with these because they're not big enough. It's not big enough to do it, to get in there. Not really. Might be. Okay, so the other option that I was looking at, let me see which one. I really like that one. I like them all. So I want to do one of the simpler ones for now. I do have a white pen. This I got, it's a washout cloth marker. I'm thinking I got both of these on Amazon. I've had them for a long time. I had to go looking. So here, I would just do like this, and I don't know how well that's going to do though, because it doesn't seem to be wanting to go on there. Maybe it's mine. So you can use erasable pens. I got some, but I don't think they're going to show up on this. So yeah, that's not going to work. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to use this to get my lines. So I think what I'm going to do first is I would like to have, let's use this one too. Someone measure from here. I'm thinking, yeah, about 8 inches tall would be about right here. And then if we added like a 1/4 of an inch, so I think I'm going to come down about, because I need 1/2 inch for a seam down here. I'm going to leave this extra up here for a seam. So right now I'm just really thinking about this particular spot, how far down I want it, because we're going to lose 1/2 inch when we sew it together. Wait a minute. No, we're not, because it's going to fold under. Okay. So I am measuring from right here, this top part. I really don't need to measure there, but to get a measurement, I would probably go about half an inch. Can y'all tell I have not done this before? I have made bags before, and I have made pants before with patterns. So if we fold this, we don't need a seam down here because we're folding it. So that takes out that 1/4 of an inch seam. So do I want an inch down here? I'm going to fold this in. I'm just going to tuck this under. So right now I'm trying to look at size as far as top and bottom. So I could do 8. Let me mark it. I'm going to put a little mark right there. I'm going to do an 8.5 inch mark and a 9 inch mark. And if you're doing your own pattern, this would kind of be the way you would do it, is just start marking. So we got that much with 8. And then if we go on up to 8.5, we've got this much. Really, I'm thinking I like the 8 because there's not as much room here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm lining up this line that's middle of the pocket with this line here that I want. So I can kind of, I'm drawing my bag right now. I do want it over this way a little bit more. So let's see, that's an inch off. And I'm going to look right here. So what if and what I'm drawing is my sewing line right now because I need to know where to put this. I could come over 3 3/4. So right here is my little line, and then right here 3 3/4 is matching. And this is the smallest part of our bag right now. So I think we would be fine right there to get us a line. You see. So this chalk just rubs away. It takes a little bit to rub it. But So I'm going to measure from this middle right here, where this little corner comes in, right there. And then up here, I have measured my pocket, which is 6 inches. And I put a mark at the 3 inch. So what you can do, I don't really need to, but I'm going to do it so I can show you. You can draw that line right down there. And what I did first is I tried to estimate how much I'm going to have over here. So that's 4 inches, but I think I want maybe a 1/4 of an inch more. So I'm going to move the ruler. Okay, so what I've done is I went over here as far as I could. I lined up my ruler on the best line that I can see, which is the 4. Now I want at least another 1/4 of an inch right here on this edge. So I'm just going to bump the ruler over to 3 3/4. And I'm going to draw this line. So that's going to be the outside of my bag. And I'm just going to flip it around. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to put this mark and this mark at my 3 1/4, which is right here. And then up here, it's right here. I don't know how much y'all can see of this. I'm learning how to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and continue marking this down. So I have the other side marked too. So again, I'm lining my 3 1/4 inch mark right here. So it's, and I'm lining this up on this side. I don't think I'm going to need that much, but I'm going to go ahead and mark it. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm turning it around to where it's better on me in my measuring. And I know the ruler is upside down, but because I'm starting over here on the right, I got one over here. Again, I got the 3 1/4, and then I'm lining up this line that I've already made right there with the ruler. And that helps you to get straighter. So, okay. So those are our outside lines. This is where our pattern's going to be. I did decide on 8 inches. So what I'm doing is I'm looking right here at this line as it goes across my ruler right there. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to check and line up this line on one of these lines. And the reason that is so it's square across the bottom. So I know this is going to be where I'm going to turn it. I'm going to go on across. So I could cut this out now, but I think, like I said, I'm going to leave it. I do want at least that much at the top, so I'm going to mark it right here for now. Let's see. So I'm lining up my lines again to where I can see them. So right here, that's not working. Hold on. This line is lined up. This one is lined up right down through there. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to get myself set up because you can see the bottom is not square here. So I'm squaring up on my ruler here and over here. Right, so that will be my full top all the way to the waistband. So 8 inches, that's what I'm going to do is this way. Put a mark right here at 8 on this side of the ruler, and then I'm going to come over here on this side. And that is going to be our zipper line. And you can see I'm kind of fading over here. I don't know why this is not working on that. Okay. So yeah, this should be 8 across there. Right here and 8 right there. I think we're square, even though it doesn't look like it, but pretty sure we are. So let me see, which one do I want to start with? Another thing that I'm thinking about is a pouncing bag of chalk for the blue jeans. I'm just not sure. We're going to see how this goes. So what I'm trying to do, there's a little wheel on the bottom. I'm trying to get it in these little holes. Which I'm not doing very good. See if I can mark these. If nothing else, probably not. So these are registration marks. So if I move the template, I can get it back by looking through there, if you could see it. So then I'm going to come this way. No, this is not the way this is supposed to work, but we are going to do it this way. I'm trying not to move it because I don't want to have to fight with these registration marks with the chalk that I'm using. So if you know of a good marking tool, besides that pencil I have, put it in the description below because I'm going to need one. I don't know if the friction pins would work on this blue. I don't see any. I went looking, but my sewing room has gotten moved, so yeah. See, I don't know if that's going to work or not. These are at half-inch marks. I might be able to do. I don't know. There it is. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up the ruler on the lines, just like we did this way, because I can see them. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and go all the way across. Let me see. So I'm trying to square up my ruler again on this line and then across this way, so I know where I want to stop at. So I'm coming back to this direction that I was already doing. The stencils would be nice with something that would work for me to see it. Let's see. And Miriam was talking about, this is a learning process, which I have to say I agree, because I'm not sure what I'm doing here. So what I'm going to try and do is see if I can't. Oh, that one needs a little bit straighter. Again, I'm lining up these marks where it's crossing. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but then I'm going to take my template and try and figure out where I'm supposed to be doing this at. And I don't know if I'm going to go all the way across this whole section. With this, I may just do half or a section of it. Right now, I just want to get it marked, and then we can take that off later. So I was going to do just a section like this, but I don't know. The other thing I need to do, and I got to go the other direction too, is I need this little bit right there marked. So now, this, we've got these lines that go, you know what, those are they not going to line up for me? Huh. There we go. Yeah, that's the direction it's going. Okay, so I need to put something on here to say it's just the direction that my paper is going, my template's going, because I'm just getting confused. I'll put a little piece on here. So see, there's no line that goes this way, it's up and down, so that's why. So what I want to do, knowing that, is we're going to line up these diamonds all the way down, like y'all can see my line, and then we're going to half inch all the way across here too. I don't know if I need one right there. So that's why we may not go that far over. Okay, so I do have some lines that are a little bit overlapping, but that's our basic design. So I'm wondering if I should sew outside this. I don't want to sew right on the chalk line. I guess once I get these started, there'll be a mark over here. Or what I can do, let me grab this other thread. What I'm going to do real quick, and I can see this orange, and I have other colors besides white. I'm undecided what I'm going to do. I could definitely use a smaller needle, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come just this side of that. That way I have them, if my marks get rubbed off, I've got at least an outline for the outside. Because that was a lot of measuring and figuring out and thinking. So my next time around, if I make another one, I don't know how to think about in terms of the pattern. I mean, I had the pattern in my mind as far as the shape, but because of the way the pants came out cut, I had to figure out a way to do it to where it was even. So I'm going to go around this and I will be back and we will start a little bit of this down here. So this is probably easier picking it up with my hand because I'm thinking I've got layers of fabric and that I need to not move them. I don't know why. But this is a lot quicker to hold it like this and do like I'm doing Sashiko and just going in and out like that. This is just a running stitch, so I'll be able to take it out when I come back, and actually I'm going to try and go a little bit further apart. And I do know that seamstresses do something similar to this, but it's been a while. I'm just now getting back into my sewing. So with this little piece of thread, I'm going to come across the middle right here. Now I am going to try and just stay on that line, because this is where I definitely want it folded. The rest of it is kind of iffy. And these pants are stretchy pants. I don't know if that's going to make a difference in the end. I can feel them stretching as I'm pulling them when I do like that. But if you're repurposing blue jeans, hey, you could actually probably make you a jacket out of a pair of blue jeans if you knew how. You'd need the bigger back part, but you could piece that together too. What I'm thinking about using is this white. This is not the one that this goes with. It was in another. So this was in here. That's what kind of thread this is. And it was done like yarn, so I didn't put it on my yarn thing, and I made a mess. So before I get that put up, this is my little bag. I made this a long time ago. It just crunches up. So what I did is I put in stuff to make to do some sewing while I'm out. A little pair of scissors. I have a thimble. And I have this. That's one of the reasons I had it cut like that. And then it just closes up. So I'm not even sure where to start. If I should start maybe right there. But I feel like going that direction. So I guess we will start going that direction. And since this is, I'm going to put a knot. I just feel like I need a knot. I know that they don't, in the technical Sashiko, they don't put knots. So I would go in right before that, and then go, and then in, because here's a cross line. Looks like it's right there before the circle, so that, I don't know. So here's my cross line, so I'm going to go in right there, and I'm going to come out on the other side. And then I'm going to go in right there before. And that's looking awful big right there. So I'm going to cut this out because I see what I did. And I ain't that far, so I'm just going to start over. Okay, so there's a cross right here. That's where I missed it earlier. Trying to figure out the stitch length. It looks a little better. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down right here. And then I'm going to go this direction. So I'm not going to go back down that way. I'm going to go this way. And then I'm going to go sideways. So I'm going to come up right about there. Well, that's not where I need to be. And so I'm going to start this today. I'm going to research into finding a better marking for the rest of it. So next week maybe I'll have something. But definitely leave me some comments and tell me which would be better if you have one that would be good. So come in right there. And since I'm going this way, I'm just going to take this and I'm going right in before that, coming out on the other side, going in, coming out. Now I'm going to do my stitching, but I'm going to come back later and put some, what do you call that, ribbon, some lace and stuff. Let me sew some fabric on it. I'm trying to get that stitch right there in the middle, fairly even. So with the stencil, if it were working the way I needed it to work, these here would have been my stitch lines. So I don't know. May not have needed that stencil after all. So in Sashiko, I know they usually do like almost the whole row and then they would pull the thread out. But considering I am just learning, so here we are again at an ending point. So here I could go down there, I could go across that way. I just don't want to just come back this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out right in there, I think. So I'm going to follow that next. Wait a minute. No, I want to do the whole bottom like that. I think we will. I done started it. We might as well. I can get this to do. And surprisingly, this is a pretty nice fabric to go through. I want to come out right there at all. I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out right here and I'm going to go back that way. Because I don't think I might have a little bit of a stitch right here, but I don't think I will. Let's see, I think I'm a little too close to that. Let's try this. So my stitches aren't going to be perfect, but you know, I could do it exactly the way that Sashiko is traditionally done, which would probably drive me crazy. Just the stress of, oh, but it's not perfect and all. Or I can get the basic foundation of doing it this way. Here I'm coming up on another seam, so I can go right there and just keep going around in circles. Then that's going to leave my up and down rows. So I don't know. I do think I have some longer needles. See, I've got quite a bit there. So it is Tuesday, the day that I'm wanting to post this video. Maybe before next week I can get a little bit more done. I really don't have a lot of time before vacation, like a couple of weeks. So if I want to use this for vacation, I need to get to working on it. My mom's, I had to get hers finished because it was her birthday and she was early on top of that. So she was a week early from her birthday when she came, but that's okay. So right here, I'm going to come in right about there. So this way, I'm going to go down and start going around, going down some, and I'm still just doing, right here is the cross. I'm just coming in and out. And I'm kind of looking to see, the more I do this, the easier it is for me to judge my stitches. Yeah, I may have to do like Marion did and just get me a book with this in it and draw my own lines, because I do kind of like this a lot better than I think I would like. So what up here? No, you're not. You start seeing some of the things. I'm a little bit too long right there, but it's just gonna stay. And I got too far away from it. It's looking so cute, so pretty cute. So here I'm at another intersection. I'm gonna go this way, I think. So I do need to remark some lines because I can't see it. I see well enough that I can mark them again. So you don't want to wait until it's just too bad you can't see if you're using chalk. So I didn't quite get that one right. It was off quite a bit. Let's see. Right there. And this one goes right here. So you can use your sewing lines as a measuring too. See how it's running with my ruler, which is actually helping now that I think about that. See, I've got a few over here that I need to redo. To be honest, I think this ruler is going to be better for me than the stencils. But I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't tried it. So I am actually getting close to being done with this one, which is surprising. I do think that I would like to have the stitches closer together. So I might do a quarter of an inch between the rows instead of a half an inch like we were doing. I'm going to do some research on it and see. What I was thinking about doing is coming in here with another color and maybe go through there. I don't know. So right now I'm looking for any open spots. So right here is one line that needs to be done. But yeah, I might do a different color and just come in here, like right through here, and go through there. I don't know. Nice, something to think about. Maybe I can take a picture of it and see what I can draw and what it might look like to have more in it. But I'm thinking if I do the rest of it a little bit tighter, more condensed, I would need to make this one more condensed, but I could do this, use these sides here like we did, and then, I could use these stencils and try and mark it a little better. So I think I've got one right here, and I'm way over here, so I'm going to tie it off, and I'm going to come over here and get this middle one. I hope you have enjoyed this video and maybe you learned something. If nothing else, not to be too stressed about perfect stitching. And go ahead and cut up them blue jeans and just go with it, just like I did. If you're new here, it would be great if you hit the subscribe button. And if you've been here a while and you're new, I'd really love it if you left me a comment. Comments help me out a lot. And the like button, you could hit that like button because that helps me too. I'm getting closer and closer to my 4,000 watch hours. I still have 1,000 more left to go. I'm writing. Yesterday I was at 2880 on watch time. I have plenty of subscribers for that, so I don't have to worry about that part of it. But I do thank you. If you're here and you come by, even if it's occasionally, and just say hello, I really appreciate it.